think of it that way. I mean, maybe some guys think it's a turn on or a turn off or whatever. I don't think of it that way. I think someone's working out and they're sweating. I don't hold that against them.
It's like part of the deal. Like that's what your body's going to do.
That's what they're there for. But I don't misinterpret it as being dirty or sexy or not sexy or whatever. It's just you're there to sweat. You know?
It'd be different if I was at the dinner table with you and all of a sudden I started perspiring profusely.
Well,
right? Would that be a little different? Maybe
that usually happens to women when they sit near me at dinner. But I'm used to that now. If it was other than me sitting there and this happened, I would call 911 because I thought maybe you were having a seizure. And if that's not the case, I call 912 for an extreme emergency. But something's going on there. If you're sweating at a dinner table like that.
Would that turn you off? Would that then go like, okay, she's sweating. That's gross.
First thing would go through my mind is infection or something's going on there.
Really? Like you would think that's not good.
There's something wrong.
That's not good. But in the gym, it's like, it's the gym. You're supposed to sweat.
Yeah. You're not supposed to sweat at dinner unless it's awfully hot in there. You know.
Yeah.
Or you're eating spicy foods.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
I
will tell you this. When I see a guy that's really sweaty, it doesn't bother me unless he looks like he's unconscious of it. Like he doesn't have a towel. And he's just really dripping with it, and he thinks that it looks hot because he looks like a man.
Oh, I don't like that.
Or when there's armpits, the stains down to here, and there's that line between being perspiring and sort of looking healthy, and just looking dirty.
And dirty, yeah. There's a big difference there.
There's a big difference, and there's a point when people you need to think, don't they feel this? Isn't it dripping into their eyes? Isn't it?
Well, it does, and it stings.
Yes. And also on that, you're transferring all this bacteria and the staph onto everything that you're touching.
Yeah. Now out here in my wrestling ring, we train a few days a week, and the guys come in and they don't wear shirts and they sweat and we're out in the sun, and they're working at each other and sweating on each other, and they bring towels. But you know, in wrestling, you do sweat, and
you're grappling,
and you have body, you have body count. That's just part of what we do. And I've accepted it for years. When I first got in the business and I was a young guy, I had these big, fat, sweaty men that I'm wrestling in the ring. And someone like, Harry, I think, what the hell did I get myself into? You know? And back then, the rule of the wrestling game was when you showered, your opponent washed your back with soap and water. I said, what's this guy going to wash my back? Asked me to wash his back. I've told this to someone the other day. It was a courtesy. And I'll tell you why they did that. And it made sense because back then, the mats weren't clean. They were used a lot. There was bacteria on the canvas.
And people didn't clean them up.
Right. And so when you wrestled your opponent and you showered, you washed each other's back to get all that crap off your back because you can't reach it.
So it was nothing gay about that?
No. Not in my world.
That's what he says.
There could have been some guys like that.
That's what he says.
But that was the rule of the game.
But that was part of the deal. It's like for cleanliness' sake, let's do that.
Yeah, that was the etiquette.
But why not wipe down the mats?
Oh no, they're canvas.
Those were canvas mats back then.
And they're used over and over and over.
Yeah.
They would try to disinfect them, but you know.
You can't. There's too much.
People got glaucoma and bacteria and staph infections.
By the way, with the staph infection thing, I have a little story. I was at a dermatologist friends and talking to them about staph.
Yeah.
Because I had gotten a staph infection from being at one of the gyms.
Yeah.
You know, and also my husband at the time had been grappling a lot, and they get them all the time.
Yeah.
And so I had gotten the staph infection, and the doctor said, this is very recent. He said, you know, staph is, first of all, we have it all over us.
Yes, we do.
But he said, the most ways transmitted is nasally. So he actually gave me an ointment that you put inside your nostrils so that when you go, you're immune to that. And I've always thought it was a touch thing. That's why grappling to me makes sense. But he said, no, actually, it's mostly transmitted, nasally, which means it's airborne.
Well, which means to me is you keep your nose out of everybody else's business.
That goes with the gossip thing.
Exactly.
Exactly. But yeah, that was a good segue, by the way. That was quick.
I'm
that was
very
good.
quick. I'm a very quick guy. I had staph infection in this finger that I cut these 3 off, and this one on the stitch had staph for several years.
Oh my God.
And because of that, the staph went into my knee when I tore my quads, and my knee exploded.
Because you already had it, so it just transferred
my
down
knee exploded.
here.
It crawled up my leg. They said I could have been dead in 24 hours.
Yeah, staph will kill you because it goes into your intestines and everything too,
right? It makes you sick, your liver, everything. It's bad stuff.
Like, is it normal to have like serious headaches and serious like nausea and everything like that?
Yeah, it's all part of the symptoms. It's like the flu. And you can die from it. I went in and I was weak and I had chills, and he says, you know what, we got to get injections right away, some antibiotics.
So even though this was a staph infection that had been cured years ago?
Well, it didn't. It lied dormant on a stitch, and years later, up till about last year, I could feel this little black stitch coming out, and a friend of mine who's a vet at Starbucks came in there one day and he says,
you have an infection.
He pulled the stitch out. He brought 2 tweezers and pulled that stitch right out.
And there came out some pus.
Nothing came out, but it never got inflamed after that. It went away. It completely.
Oh, so the stitch was keeping it inflamed.
The stitch was keeping it inflamed. It had a bacteria on it.
And when you got your knee operation, because you had it living in your body,
it probably went there.
It transferred there.
Yeah. Then it came out on top of my foot a year later, out of nowhere.
God. The thing about it is it doesn't go away.
Well, I think this came here because of the gym. Because
you're still going back to the gym. And
I had open wounds. I was using the bars, the sweat on the bars, the bacteria gets in your hand, and there you go.
And you can't wash your hands enough.
No.
You can't, that's another thing I was supposed to. You can't wash your hands half. I try. I will say, I admit, I'm one of those people that you hate that doesn't wipe down the equipment every time after I'm done.
Well, it's different with you. We like to go lick that.
That's right, baby. no, because I don't sweat on the equipment, but it's still not the point. The point is that you still have germs on your hands.
Yeah.
You should really go get some stuff and spray,
And
spray it off.
they keep a spray in there.
But
and paper
I
towels.
do it with the mats. Like I will take the mat, I'll take a sponge and we'll wipe it down.
Well, the
hard.
mats aren't porous; they're slick, so nothing penetrates inside. It lays on top.
So actually,
it's even worse.
Even worse.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I do sit-ups at home now.
I remember in our gym many years ago, there was this tall guy that came in with real short shorts and a tank top.
and he had little booty shorts.
Oh my God! And he had like shrubs under his armpits. I mean, shrubs of bushes. I mean, hair that was he added hair to his armpits, and he had horrible BO, like onions at Carl's Jr. And everywhere he would go, he'd be raising his arms and doing exercise. I go to a bench, and he'd lay down next to me, and he had his arms in the air.
And he's like doing his sit-ups like this.
It was pungent. And I'll tell you something about this guy. To him...
Was he white?
Yeah.
I'm just curious because I was wondering about his diet.
I'm not going to say what he was because I don't want to offend any of the sexual preferences out there.
Okay.
But this was his way of his
I know, that was a weird question. I'm sorry.
No, he's luring in other guys who like that. And
well, some guys like that?
There is a certain group of guys around that do like smelly guys. In fact, years ago, they came out with a cologne that they advertised many years ago in a gay magazine called Locker Room.
You are joking.
I'm not joking. This goes back to the 70s.
They think it's like, oh, this odorous, pure earth man.
It's going to attract somebody.
Like it's pheromones.
Well, we got him kicked out of the gym. We all signed a petition.
They said this man is like offensive
and he says,
to us.
I'm going to file a lawsuit. That's, and they said, no, you're offending people. Your hygiene's poor. You smell. And you're sneaking up the gym, and no one wants you in here. And they kicked his ass out of there. Thank God for that.
You know what? How humiliating would it be to be kicked out of a gym because you smell?
I know. He took pride in it.
But he seems like he was angry that you guys didn't understand the essence of
Well,
him.
no one asked him to dinner, you know. He was left out.
God.
But that was one of those
Have you ever
instances.
been around a woman that is odorous?
Oh, yes.
And let's not talk about what kind of odor is.
There's all kinds of odors. But I don't like to be around
But
it.
in the gym, like when it's like you can tell, like, okay, she didn't wear deodorant, or she just
not as many as guys. Though. Yeah, there are some.
It's not as bad. Or people. By the way, the other thing that I would say real quick is when people over perfume themselves.
Okay, that's one more issue. Then we're going to go there. The other thing that smells are lifting gloves because, and I had some, but I know people who don't wash their lifting gloves.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
And they get mildewed, and they sit in the back of your car like your jockstrap if you still wear one, which I don't. I wear a peanut shell and a rubber band. That's how it's come down to. No, but the gloves they get a mildew and they get a smell like old shoes.
Yeah, you've got to wash
and you
that
can
stuff.
smell them on the equipment. And you can smell it all around the gym, and you got to wash those gloves. My God, they're horrible.
If you don't wash them, you use the leather cleaner that you use on your sneakers.
I don't even think that's going to help. They got to suds and soap that thing out of there.
No, that's not true.
No?
You use leather cleaner because like suede, you can't wash.
What if my gloves aren't leather and they're made out of canvas? Then you wash them.
Then you wash them.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, perfumes. We all know that in certain gyms, and one of ours in particular, there was a lady, or there is a lady, or there has been a lady who used to come to the gym with 3 bottles of perfume on every day. Oh, and there's a few of those, but one in particular.
And men.
Well, wait, I'm getting there too. It was horrendous. You train next to her and you can't breathe, you start to get high and you get a headache.
You get a headache.
And she thought it was attractive, and people kept telling her, quit wearing the perfume.
They would tell her?
They told her, the front desk told her, they said that people are getting offended by the smell, it's just too much.
They told her that?
Yeah.
And she continued?
Continued. And she quit coming to the gym for a while. But there's only a few that do that. Now, men will take this cheap cologne that you buy at the mall, and everybody wears the same one, and they toss it on, and it's horrible.
And it's a lot. It's like when you're trying to work out, you're trying to breathe in like clear air, and you're running on a treadmill, whatever, and you have cologne. It's an instant headache, or your eyes start burning.
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy. It's like it's also, by the way, it's like when they start cleaning around you at the gym. And
the dust flying.
All this toxic stuff and everything. It's just so unhealthy, and you're thinking, I'm in a gym, and I'm feeling toxic right now.
Well, for all the dust they're picking up is flying out the back of the machine.
That's
it goes all the way around you.
Okay, you're enlightening me too much today.
Now, with perfumes and colognes, I'm going to relate to something that I tell my wrestlers out here. I'm going to tell bodybuilders as well who work out. Less is more. In the ring, these guys want to do 15,000 things in front of the audience. Nope, keep it down to 4 basics and let them understand what you're doing. In training, don't go overboard and overtrain doing so many exercises or reps that you deplete the body and you don't grow. When it comes to colognes, less is more. A hint of something can go a long way.
I agree. I think for me, when I go to the gym, I wear as little makeup as possible, and I just have like moisturizer.
Yeah.
And I wear just plain deodorant.
Yeah.
Because that's what you need to. That's all it's got to be. And then body lotion.
Oh yeah.
That's.
I hear you.
I don't want to overwhelm you, but I also understand that I'm not going to try to make you sick either with whatever I'm going to smell like after I've been sweating for.
By the way, you're starting to sweat.
I am.
I know. It's hot
I was just about to say.
Yeah, it's hot here.
Isn't it? No, but that's me. Like I sweat like crazy.
You started sweating when I looked at you like that.
Well, I couldn't help it. What
I know.
do you want?
You asked me about wearing colognes. I don't wear colognes.
You wear a self-made
Oils.
Scented oil.
Scented oils that you can buy at any head shop. They sell them. They've sold them for musk oil. They sell patchouli oil. They sell amber, lavender, all these different oils. You have to find one that works for you. And you just use a drop, and you just rub it a little here, and it just carries, and it lasts all day. And it's soft, it's subtle, and people love it.
But you have a secret one, so we're not going to say.
No, we're not going
to
to tell what my secret is.
That's his little personal thing.
I might add a couple of different oils together that I like. And patchouli is the 70s oil. It's the one that everybody knows about. They call it hippie oil, and it's very strong. But if you use just that thing of it along with some others, it'll carry a little bit, and it has a scent of its own, and it's almost like an aphrodisiac.
It is. It's very sexy. It's very subtle.
Yeah, I've been wearing it for years, and in fact, I can't even leave myself anymore. I just want to stay home with me.
Yesterday I was at the gym and I hugged him and I started just sniffing him like a dog. I was like,
oh God, it is good.
It was ridiculous.
It's
So people were like,
good.
"What is wrong with that woman?"
Well, I think we've run out of time because we're going to overstay our video time, but we made some good points, and it's something you might want to think about and spread the word, and see if you can clean up your gym a little bit with some of these people who are offensive and take advantage of it, and you might not say something once in a while, and it ruins your workout. I mean, you don't want to be around that stuff, right?
I agree, but also I would also say in terms of your own etiquette, or as a woman especially, not to be self-conscious if you are sweating, just have a towel.
Yeah.
And dab a little bit once in a while so people realize that you know you're sweating.
Yeah.
And be courteous and say, "I'm sorry, I don't want to hug you because I'm sweating."
Yeah.
But otherwise, don't feel bad because you're sweating.
No.
If you're sweating, it means you're having a good workout.
Exactly.
In my opinion. If you're not sweating at all, I don't know. How hard are you really working, really? Or how badly are you hydrated?
Yeah, exactly. You got to sweat.
Yeah.
You got to sweat to
Keep
lose
your
that.
skin glowing too, by the way.
And get rid of the toxins.
As you can see, as I'm glowing now.
That's because she's sitting next to me. But stay tuned for more Ric's Corner. I'm going to have Noella back as I finally found her after all these months, and she'll be coming back for some more good subjects. So stay tuned.
Thank you.